welcome to this stream. I'm gonna do a retry on the other topic that I did because I feel like I kind of was just like not on it, kind of. Like I kind of went into it in a weird mood, and then there was some rude people in chat, so then I was like distracted and like very annoyed. So I'm just gonna do it again so that I can actually like give you guys the attention that you deserve, and so that I can articulate my ideas a little bit more clearly. So, yeah. Glad to have y'all in the chat. I know it was kind of short notice, but I wasn't sure how much of today I would have to do this. And so I just kind of went ahead and scheduled it for quicker. Hey, good morning to folks on the West Coast. I know it's still morning for you. Over here it's afternoon. I got the hiccups. I was just at Whole Foods and I got this sparkling rainwater and I ate a bunch of deviled eggs, and I got me this seltzer kombucha thing with like pomegranate and cherry. I don't know. It was on sale, which is the important part, but also it sounded good. So, hell yeah. There's a person at a camp here. I didn't realize that I was next to somebody's scrap pile. Whatever. Okay, so I can always move the truck back a little bit if it gets distracting. But so for those of you who are newer to the channel, or maybe yeah, folks that are like newer to the channel, even in like if you've been around for like a year or two or something, you might not be totally familiar with like what it is that I do, and you know, like, yeah, I guess what the hell do I do? So and some of you only know me from like certain eras of my life, but I spent a number of years living in Slab City, living off grid and distributing books and supplies to folks. And before that, I was homeless for a number of years and traveling, etc. And I've talked about like kind of why I went on the road and why I moved to Slab City and all that sort of stuff. But I guess like those are tied in with why I have problems with living in, I guess, like developed places like urban environments and in society like mainstream society where, you know, much of the population is pretty accustomed to living. I guess my biggest thing, like cities drive me crazy. They're really. I'm gonna repeat a few things from the last time I tried this stream, but I get like sensory overload really bad, and I kind of just go crazy, like, you know, just all the sounds of people and machines and just like industry and, you know, cars and irregular kinds of sounds. Like I get really not just sounds but like smells. Like cities smell really bad. They smell like shit and piss and rotting garbage and like dead animals and chemical waste and, you know, like pavement, black tar, you know, and just like human stanks, I guess. So like, and visually too. Like I like architecture a lot, and I'm impressed by architecture. I think it's really neat. Um, but like it's the thing about like being in an urban environment. It's like there's specific stuff that is designed to be aesthetic, but like it's not all kind of just like it's in competition with each other, and not only that, but like humans are in competition with each other to occupy these places that are high demand because of like because they're like money centers, I guess, like downtown areas. It's just a lot of commerce, and a lot of people are trying to be there at the same time, so then everything's really, really expensive. And earlier today, I was trying to go to this like pizza joint kind of by the docks, and I thought, you know what, why not? I'll treat myself to some pizza and maybe catch a nice view. Hi, baby. But there was like nowhere to park, even if you were gonna pay. That drives me pretty crazy too. Like I guess if I was gonna be serious about going downtown right now, I would have to park far away and then just like take public transit in and just walk around for the day. Then I would have to make like a whole day of it. You can't just drop in. Yeah. Anyway, I'm like kind of in a ranty mood. I thought that this would be a good time to bitch about being in town because I'm like annoyed by it because of that. I ended up not getting the pizza. I went to Whole Foods and I got fucking deviled eggs and this delicious kombucha. So cheers. Now I'm sitting out in this alleyway, which is cool. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice here. Hey, bub. Can you please get out of my face, though? Go lay down. Thank you. Go lay down. Why I bought an e-bike. Yeah, an e-bike would be nice for in town, for sure. I just, like... Oh, this guy's sketchy. Yeah, this is like a crackhead alley. I think I want to, like, go... There's possibly a dead guy, like, over yonder as well. No, I'm not even kidding. This guy's sketching me the fuck out. Yeah, he's still there. The possibly dead guy. I don't know. Well, anyway. Huh. No, I'm just gonna stay here. Anyway. So yeah, I'm chilling in this alleyway. I fucking hate being in town. It's like it's bad for people. Yeah, so I'm not like fucking anti-city. Like I still go to the city, obviously, and I'll fuck with it. But like I don't want to be like part of that. I don't want to be part of the machine, as it were. I know that obviously you never really get a choice to like stuff is there, and I'm not like anti-money or commerce or anything like that. I'm anti like consumerism and like capitalism, like just like resource hoarding and shit. I really don't like that, and I think that because of the way that a lot of people live in their day-to-day lives, that they feel powerless to do anything about the things that they dislike about the capitalist environment that they live in. They're just kind of like victims of it, I guess. not only that, but like when I was trying to do the society thing, you know, like working every day and paying for an actual like spot to be or an apartment or whatever, I could never really get ahead, and it felt like really shitty, you know. It was just like working to live and living to work, and I just felt really dead inside. And yeah, like I guess the most I was ever able to save up in a couple years of working was just like $2,000 at a time, because you know, like I'm busting ass and bringing in tons of money, but like most of that money is just going back into like rent and bills, and you know, more stuff like gear and shit so that I can work more, or like whatever, and clothes so that I can wear to work that I wouldn't otherwise wear. Like, it's just, I don't know, it seemed pretty silly. And yeah, I got sick of like treading water. And that's, you know, for a lot of people, they have kind of like a path through that. Like maybe they're, I don't know, maybe their family has like kind of a family occupation or something, and they kind of have things set ahead for them, and a way, like a path forward for them. Weird guy's back. Alright. I'm gonna go to a less sketchy area here. I get my solar panel. Hi. Come on, Satan. Let's go. Right here. Come on. Let's go, bub. Load up. Nice. I don't feel like dealing with fucking people tweaking out while I'm trying to live stream. Anyway, how are you, chat? How's everybody doing today? Let me know in the chat. How is it this day? Oh no, where's my key? Did I leave it in the back? Lazy as fuck. Yeah, I'm feeling like kind of in between lazy and wired. I'm not sure which one I am. Hold on now. Alright. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for that guy. Jeez. Alright, I'm gonna go before any weird folks damage this vehicle, because if this truck gets damaged, then I have to pay for it immediately. Oh, yeah, there's that. This must be where the fucking folks go to smoke that sketchy shit. sucks. Just another reason why I try to stay out of town. Oops. Oh, do not enter. Jeez. I like stuff in town. I don't hate being in the city, like I said before. I think that there's definitely a lot of really fun things to do in town, and of course it's like that's where all the culture is. I like culture, I like art, you know, I like all the products and whatever. It's just certain things. Oops. Oh. Certain things about society kind of fuck me up. Like, if you're gonna have an infrastructure that that people like work toward and put into, and you know, your environment is their entire world that they live in. I'm just gonna flip around and park here, like pretty close to where I was. I don't want to drive around with. Oh, whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't want to drive around with a fucking camera in my hand that's not safe or normal. People are gonna think that I'm the crackhead. Alright. Yeah, I just parked a little further down from that spot. It's like, okay, so if you create like a society, an environment where it's like people are completely surrounded by it all the time and they rely on it, like, you should be providing resources for people in that environment, not just like taking from them and like exploiting their labor and desperation. You know, there should be like public parks where people like that fucking potentially dead guy and that weird tweaker can like go and lay out just like in a bush and not be bothering anybody. But there's nothing around here. I've been driving around this whole area all fucking day, and there's like nowhere to just exist. And I think that's what I loved so much about Slab City, and you know, obviously still do, is that like, come on, bub. It's a place where you're allowed to just exist, without somebody like trying to make a buck off of it. If that means anything, you know, like, just like, I don't see that that's such a radical fucking idea, like that people should just be allowed to fucking like be somewhere, you know. Load up, bub. There you go. Yeah, this is okay. I'm okay with this. Yeah, there we go. See, that's the spot where the people are fucking hanging out over that way. That's Crackhead Alley, I guess. Now we know. Okay. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Oh no, I left my smoke up front. I'm gonna check into the chat in just a second once I get settled in and read up on all your responses and shit. Just one sec. I just gotta settle back in here. I hate having to move in the middle of a stream. If I was in the middle of the woods, then that would have not happened. And I'd be showing you around some cool cliffs on like a river and shit. And it sucks because these environments just spread. They get bigger and bigger. And I'm afraid that maybe someday all of these human-made urban environments will like swallow up all of the wild, all of the wilds and all of the forests, and just like leave no more room. It's obviously not at that point now, but like, they've only left behind the undesirable parts and left those, the shitty undesirable parts of the world for the undesirable people that they don't see as contributing members of their society. So they're just going to keep, taking more and more and displacing more and more people. So that concerns me, obviously. I probably won't see it in my lifetime if it ever does happen, because, some land is just, not worth it, Satan and I are going to eat some cheese. I'm going to eat some cheese about it. But, yeah, so anyway, if you're going to take over everything and leave no space for anybody to live on their own terms, then you should at least be, looking out for them and shit. And, our society doesn't really do that very well, obviously. A lot of people slip through the cracks and just, end up fucking tweaking out and passing out in a ditch, and if they die, then it's gonna be days until somebody actually notices. Here you go. Oh. This is stinky fucking cheese. Here you go, bub. Nice. Cheers. And I mean, I get that you can't, you can't save everybody. But it's kind of like they're not really even trying at all. They, a lot of people in the ruling class, obviously, too, but, just rich people in general, people that don't really care about human rights and the human condition. They don't really care about what happens to, homeless people. If they could push a button and make them all just disappear, they would. And they just see people that don't fit into their unnatural way of living as just, a problem, rather than humans who have no less right to exist in this world than they do. It's just that they have been provided, a hostile environment to be in, and, what are you supposed to do? So, I don't know. And it's all based around, money, of course. When there's literally free power coming from the sky, and water on this planet that people should have access to. But also because people are so reliant on a society to get what they need, and that society denies them decent actual education. They gatekeep real knowledge and only teach people things that make them good workers, and they don't teach them stuff that helps them to use their brains and think for themselves. They teach them stuff how to fucking fill out a piece of paper and turn it into your teacher like you would working at a desk job with your boss. That's your entire school experience. So because of that, people don't even have the basic understanding of why the things in their life work the way that they do. They have no idea how plumbing works. They have no idea how electricity works. They have no idea how to store food without power that's given to them by the grid. They completely rely on their little boxes that were crafted by other people. They don't know how to fix anything, and even if they did, they're not allowed to, because they're supposed to be certified in such a way. certified specialist, that kind of shit. So you don't get the opportunity to like fuck around and find out either. So the system makes people dependent on it, and then denies them basic resources that the wealthy do have access to. But they don't need to because they got money. They can just pay people to think for them. When I'm out in like the woods and shit, things are a lot more straightforward. You know, like I know what my needs are. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, well, I gotta take a dump, so I'm gonna go dig a hole and do that. And now I'm hungry, so I gotta find food and filter some water for the day, and set out my solar panel so I can get some power so I can watch my shows this evening, or a live stream or whatever. It's pretty simple. And for those of you, I've explained this before, for those of you who think you know what off the grid means, you probably don't. Off the grid means off the water and power grid. So you can have water and power without being on the grid, and you can have internet access without being on the grid. Off the grid doesn't mean that you're like, you don't exist. That's not what that means. It means that you live outside of the amenities that society expects to provide for you. So if you live in a house and you have power and running water in it, you live on the grid. If you live in a house without those things provided to you by the city, or in whatever else, maybe you live on a boat, or in a shack in the middle of the woods or something, and you go and collect your own water and power, then you live off the grid. Alright, I'm checking into let's see. I'm just going back and reading all the chat that I didn't catch while I was driving. Hey, TJ's in chat. Nice. Or at least was like 10 minutes ago. Glad you're doing this one again. Thanks, Orange Tabby. I'm glad I am too. I definitely feel like I can do better, so. Trying to bypass people at all costs too. I'm not trying to bypass people. I just don't want like, I want quality over quantity. You know what I mean? I want to be around like really fucking cool people, not just like a fuck ton of people that I don't really have anything to talk to about. Like, I don't know. Like, I can talk to anybody about anything, but after so long, I just want to go and hang out with, like, artsy queers again. People that, like, kind of get where I'm coming from without me having to, like, explain everything from a basic level. Like, people that just ask me what my pronouns are to begin with instead of, like, assuming... Hi. And, you know, who at least have, like, most things in common with, like, how I understand society, and also similar lifestyles, which the more I become, the more I, like, further myself in my, like, career of, like, adventuring, I guess, meeting people with, like, a similar occupation gets like harder and harder. similar occupation and orientation. People are complex. Yes, they are. Are you still in Portland? Yes, I am. Do you ever wish you were born 50 years earlier? No. I like to visit the machine, not live in it. Yeah, it's cool to do things, see things, then it's back out of town. Yeah, for sure. Like, I'll come in and, like, see shows or, like, hang out with friends and stuff, but if I was like working in a big city, I would maybe try to live like on a good like train or bus route outside of the city so that I wouldn't have to like be up in it all the time. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, I just go crazy. SoCal got hit by a tropical storm. Yeah, I've been watching that. Satan, can you go kick it down, please? Just like breathing on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. Yep, U-Haul cheaper than renting a room. That's right, buddy. It's been raining a bunch. Don't blow up my trick. But if you don't have a car and there's no campsites available and all the hotels are really, really fucking expensive, you can just rent a U-Haul. And then you have like a rental vehicle that you can drive around. But if you're in like, you know, a downtown, it's a big thing to drive around and it's hard to find parking and it's kind of sketch, like turning around in some places because people have really nice expensive cars and I'm not going to back into them because that 100% can't happen. If Captain had the coin, he'd get another trailer or camper. Yeah, like Dave's. Yeah, Dave's got a pretty cool setup. It's nice to have that kind of freedom, and especially with the e-bike too, because you know then you can park outside of town and ride in. That's pretty cool. Or a proper ship. Hey, Cap, maybe when I get a ship, you'll be my first mate of a official reprobate seafaring voyage. Hell yeah. That would be really fun. Okay, we're like halfway through the stream. If you have any questions concerning why I left society, what has and hasn't worked for me, maybe I can, you know, maybe you want some advice, that sort of thing, go ahead and ask away in the chat. Or if you're watching this retroactively, you can leave a comment. Also, if you're new to this stream, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I do talks like this a lot and I also do edited videos. There's also an e-tip jar if you want to throw some dollarinos my way. There's PayPal, Venmo, and Cashapp. I sure could use it. I'm going camping with my old buddy Nate tomorrow. That should be pretty cool. And today, I'm getting a tattoo from a friend of mine who also travels by train and I guess boat. I didn't know that, which is cool. And yeah, so I wanted to support an artist friend today. So if you want to throw down so I can get a bigger, better tattoo, maybe. Actually, you know what? I can't. I can only do $200 for the tat, actually, because that's all I got. And yeah, tonight I'm gonna be sleeping in probably tent city, which sucks because I also can't afford to hold on to this for another night. So if you wanted to be an absolute sweetheart, you could throw down $25 so I can get it for another night, and then I don't have to sleep out in Crackhead Alley. Because that doesn't sound like fun, to be perfectly honest. My buddy Nate's picking me up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Well, if you don't have any money, you don't have to throw down. That's fine. Have I thought about a small van? No, dude, I'm backpacking right now. I'm just killing a couple days. I I would be out of town, out in the woods, camping right now. But I'm in town here to meet up with friends. So that's, that's the only reason I'm here. I have a Subaru. Dude, I'm not like stranded. Like, I'm not looking for advice. You're on my channel. Like, go and watch my other content. This is like what I do, dude. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't mind sleeping in this U-Haul for a second night. But I definitely don't need to. It'd be nice. I slept in this industrial area near a huge cemetery last night. That was kind of nice and quiet. I like the industrial areas because they're not around where like a ton of people are. Dang, can you go pick it on your spot, please? No, on your spot. On your spot. Thank you. Let's see. I figured you had to still be in Portland. Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't like keeping it a secret either. I wasn't like in Portland proper. The last few days I was in a small town near it, but like close enough if I wanted to get in, I could get in, but I didn't. I thought it'd be kind of fun to see it on the weekend, and it's busy. I don't know. It's not really my scene. I'd rather be in the harbor on a boat if I had to be in town here. Hang out at the marina. Yeah, I guess before I hit the road, like shit, back in 2011, I had been like homeless and living in my van for a number of years, so I wasn't really like living in society anyway. I was kind of just like, living in town, in suburban and urban environments, but like it was already a hostile environment for me. And before I got my van, I was just living out of a rucksack and couch surfing friends' places and doing odd jobs. Like, I started doing odd jobs when I was like maybe 16, 17, under the table for stuff. And, just kind of just doing whatever it took to get by. And for a while after high school, I tried doing the day job thing, and that didn't make me feel any better than being homeless and living out of a backpack, and I just got really sick of it. And there was like I remember from when the time I was like a real little kid that I was really frustrated by the idea that I wasn't allowed to just like exist in the world and live my life. Like, my parents would tell me that this is just the way things are, you're gonna have to do this and that in order to get by, and I just like outright rejected it. I was like, no, fuck that, I don't want to do that at all. That sounds terrible. And then the whole like going to college thing scared the shit out of me, because like all the people that I knew that had gone to college were like, they were talking about like, oh, if I work at this job for 10 years, then I'll have paid off my schooling, and then, I can do this and that. And I'm like, holy fuck, like, you're gonna be doing that for 10 years to pay for your years of schooling. And like, aren't you afraid that you'll suddenly wake up one day and be like, I really hate doing this, and like that scared the shit out of me. And then like just being in debt. So like I went to a couple of semesters of college. I guess a couple of like terms or whatever, and I already owed them like a few $1,000s, and I'm like, holy shit, if this is how much money I owe the school for just like a couple of terms, like imagine going to 4 years of college. That's crazy. Like, and I was going to, like a community college, like a cheap one, and that sucked. So I fucking quit, and I worked my ass off to pay for everything outright, and I did, and then I just like fucked off. I was like, nah, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. I'm gonna cut and run. Fuck this. Maybe sometime in the future, I have this kind of like pipe dream that maybe when I'm 50 or something, I'll have finally decided like what I actually want to specialize in my later years, and then I'll go to college for like something specific that I know that I want to do for like 10-20 years or so, or maybe the rest of my life. That's kind of a bleak thought though to me, but if I do go to college, it'll probably or school, it'll probably either be like a trade school at some point, maybe a trade school within the next 10 years or something, and learn like welding or diesel mechanics or something like that. And then once I'm like good at that and bringing in money with that, then I can put myself through like actual college for something in particular. What? Oh. I see. Bro, start your own YouTube channel and tell other people how to do things. What the fuck? Where's your camping equipment? What are you doing with your life, man? Jeez. Start a YouTube channel. Tell me how I'm doing it wrong. I'll probably do well. Seems like a lot of people make their entire following trying to drag me. So go right ahead. Cheers. Very cute. Very cute. Yeah, Nate and I are gonna be camping somewhere near Bethel. Nate is one of my very close friends. When we were hanging out year after year, like pretty much best friends, and I'm sure we'll just pick right back up where we left off. But he kind of had an experience around the same time that I hit the road, where he was just really disillusioned with his life, and he wrote a book about it. I think it's just like called A Walk Across America or something like that. But he just kind of got sick of it and started walking, and he walked from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I think the year after that is when I met him in Slabs. So yeah, dude can hike, and I'm really excited about the spot that he wants to bring me up to. That'll be nice. And it'll definitely not be on the beaten path, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good call, Kat. And there's the Discord server there if you want to join us and talk more about stuff. There's a lot of other people with similar mindsets and great conversations and good pictures. Very, very cute and wholesome. Also recently renamed to be a little bit cooler. Because when I first made it, I was blackout drunk. I do not remember making it. And now it's like a whole thing. It's really cool. So, yeah, you should enjoy it. Huh, Satan. Free to join, hang out. Also, there is a Patreon. If you want to check out my Patreon, I do release short videos only to patrons. So if you're interested in that type of content, then check it out. Yeah, I think that's what. There's one thing that I didn't really clarify as well on the last, like the take one of this stream, making clear the differentiation between like society, like civilization, quote unquote, like this, urban environment type situation. I guess like yeah, American society versus community. Like community and society are different things. So like when I say like why I left society, I don't mean that I just left like human collectives in general and that I want to like go my own way and do only Cornelius things all the time. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like the cool thing about Slabs is that it offers like a collective like community environment. I'm not going to say communal because it's not communal. A lot of people get that mixed up. But there's like community to it, and there's establishments that you can go to and hang out. They're not based around capital. They're not based around how much money they're going to make off of you. Obviously, they do want to make money, so they're going to have like places will have drinks with suggested donations and meals and whatnot. And I say suggested donations because that's it. I mean that's what you give them, but you can't have like actual commerce in Slabs because demand will come down on us. But like that's how it works. That's how it works in so many parts of the world. But it's not like based around that. Like people aren't trying to get rich off of you because they're not going to, because they know that we're all fucking poor. Like if you wanted to hang out at the internet cafe all day long and not buy anything, like you can fucking do that. As long as you're not like trashing the place and being an asshole. But like if you want to throw some money in the tip jar, they really like that. Same with the library and the range. The range is always free, but Builder Bill's got to eat, so you throw some money in the tip jar. And he doesn't make as much money as he should, honestly. So I guess that's kind of what I like about Slabs is it offers community and like spaces where people can socialize. Social spaces, like you can be social without being in the belly of the beast. Or as we call it, Babylon. So like, no person is an island. And I definitely wouldn't advocate for like self-sufficiency and like, the whole prepper outlook where it's like, it's me against the world, me and my stockpile and my bunker against the world. Like, no, if we're going to survive the apocalypse, we're going to need to work with other people and have community and, trade between each other and look out for each other. Every society, like, now, societies, there's many different types of societies. When I say, like, I'm just going to call it Babylon from now on. Like, like, Babylon, because you know what that means, right? That's like in the city, in town, like on the grid. And like I guess the society that I like to see is more collectivist, community oriented, small small town societies, but also with open communication among other smaller societies, open trade, open communication, and without like aggression and without, I guess, defending giant borders. Like, you know, it's just unnatural. Humans have lived tribally for a lot longer than we haven't. Oh, you're right, Captain. Hey, Debbie Bender, shit. Debbie just paid for my fucking U-Haul motel again tonight. Thank you so much. Fuck yeah. I don't have to sleep in... I was really not looking forward to that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep with my knife over here and my other knife over here. And try to find somewhere out of the way so some crackhead doesn't stumble into my expensive fucking nice tent. You know, not like... It is a nice tent, and it was expensive. In the state that it's in now, it's worthless to anybody, but somebody might mistake it for being something that they could steal and sell. So it's yeah, it's a little sketchy. So thank you very much. Y'all want to see our sleeping arrangement here? Welcome to Hotel Fucking U-Haul. Beep 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 beep. It's a fucking U-Haul with the Satan doggo. Yeah. That's nice, huh? It's nice, huh? It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, 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 yeah. Satan says, thank